Nothing But the Truth. Hello, I'm Raj Chengappa from India Today and your host for Nothing But the Truth. Every week, we will deal with key issues of concern and bring you perspectives and clarity as to why these matter to you and what is the clear truth that emerges. Karnataka has decided, and in the assembly elections, the Congress party has won a massive victory. It is poised to win around 138 seats in the 224 assembly seats in the state. That is almost 25 seats more than the 113 needed to form a simple majority. The outcome of Karnataka elections has national implications both for the BJP and the Congress, apart from other opposition parties. So in this episode of Nothing But the Truth, we would look at the big takeaways from the results of the Karnataka elections and what does it mean. To analyze that, I'm happy to welcome to the show Pradeep Gupta, founder of Access My India, who was the only psephologist who predicted the results of the Karnataka elections accurately. So Pradeep, you're the man of the match. Congratulations and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raj, for having me here. And in fact, let me tell you, none of the polling agency or the channel has predicted comfortable victory for the Congress. All of them has shown the hung assembly.
All kudos to you for that. And my first question is, why did the Congress get this resounding victory?
So, Raj, any election for that matter, three things which is most important. One is the Vade, second is the Dave, and third is the Irade.
We have a lot of English
yes,
things, so please translate
I am coming to that.
Yes.
So, when I say Dave is the claim which is going to be claimed by the incumbent government, and when I say Vade, the promises will be made by challenger. And Irade, when I say Irade, people make choices based on these two things. You know, this is the most important factor in any election. So, now let us get one by one. Yeah. When we say incumbent government, people always see what is the performance of the incumbent government whom they have voted 5 years back, and they evaluate these performance of the government very carefully. This is what is anti-incumbency. Then when people see whatever promises you have made and whatever you have done the delivery, this is the evaluation and which decide the anti-incumbency factor. Now coming to the other side of this, if there is an anti-incumbency, what is most important for the challenger, right, how to capitalize the anti-incumbency. Otherwise, people will say, okay, if not this, then who is there the next to elect?
And that's a very good point that you made, because we have seen incumbent governments recently be actually voted back to power. So what in Karnataka made that? You saw in Gujarat there was a very powerful incumbency thing that they retained power as there as well.
So what had happened in Karnataka in last 5 years? Last 5 years, Karnataka has seen two different parties government, in fact 3-party government I would say. The first government was in alliance of JDS and Congress under the leadership or chief ministership of Kumar Swamy. After 1 year, then Karnataka witnessed the BJP government of Yediyurappa, and after that in last 21 months, Karnataka has seen BJP government led by Basavaraj Bombay. So, 3 government Karnataka has seen, and that is where the real crux lies. It is evident because none of them are performing in line, and that is the reason why none of them is able to hold on to 5 years.
Wow.
This is very clear message to the public. Now, the next come is what is the next available choice, and if challenger play their cards very carefully and make sure the kind of promises they make and the kind of value proposition they bring to the table of the people, so that it exceed the performance of the incumbent government, and that is when people start think to switch the side. That is when people start.
In this particular case, what was the feeling? I mean, what was you had done the exit poll for us, which predicted accurately for India Today. What was the main factor? Was there a powerful leader like Siddaramaiah that turned the table?
Yes. So now I am coming to that. So the challenger. Now what is seen in our poll, and when we gone and asked the people, they simply said And also 5 years back, they have seen 5-year full term for Siddaramaiah government.
Right.
So, the evaluation in this time was very easy for them. The comparison was quite evident that Siddaramaiah's performance as far as the state governments go was way too satisfactory for them in comparison to these 3 chief ministers. So, this was the one factor. Now, the second factor is that if you see the campaign of Congress, which was very localized, they were talking about the matters which matters to the common man. Because this is continuously our study shows that the 100 vote cast, generally 1/3 are in case of this 27% didn't turn out, 73% odd was the voter turnout, meaning 72% become 100% and 100 vote cast, 80 belongs to poorer section of the society. And their livelihood largely depend on the government.
Right.
Their livelihood, believe me or not, their livelihood depend largely on the government of the day.
And this is a question I wanted to ask you, because when I interviewed Basuraj Bommai before on the campaign trail, he said, our schemes, welfare schemes have reached more than 5 crore voters, which is virtually 90% of the voters, and I am very confident that our welfare schemes would have succeeded. But what you are saying is, what is the result of that? When you are saying the poor are going to be the biggest voters, how did that impact it?
Now, secondly, you see the promises. When you say delivery had happened, but if you see the campaign, last 1 month campaign of government, though they talked about the social welfare schemes and performance and so on, but what is most prominently emerged is not the offerings for the poor. Though there were free cylinders, the LPG gas cylinder were in the offering in the manifesto of BJP, but see the proportion of propagation about these things which matters the common man or the poor the most was not there. Whereas, on the other side, Congress promised, what they promised, 2,000 rupees to the female, free bus to the female and 500 rupees a cylinder. All these things they were continuously propagating.
What they call the 5 guarantees that they said.
That's what they call the 5 guarantees. So, these are the things which matters, and the third party was the JDS who formed the government. They were also part of anti-incumbency. So, people always see what you have delivered, and based on that they make their choices.
So, let us take the first big takeaway. Let us go to leadership. How much, and if you have to extrapolate this nationally to other elections, state elections, because you have many big elections going to happen by November, December. You have Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, as well as Telangana. What would be the lessons that you would say, one, for the BJP, because their La Bharati schemes, as it's called, the welfare schemes, was supposed to be the big winner in, say, a state like Uttar Pradesh. Why didn't it work in Karnataka? And what do they need to do to change their approach when they get to these other states?
See, that is where the people always compare, as I mentioned, in Karnataka, 4 government they have seen, and they found that Siddaramaiah government or whatever social welfare schemes and delivery was much better than these 3 government which seen by the Karnataka people. Now, coming to what is the lesson, is a simple. When you are a incumbent, when you are in government, you have to make sure your performance exceed the anti-incumbency level. That is what you have to make sure and see to it.
When you say anti-incumbency level, what do you mean? The discontent versus...
I mean to say that whatever you have made promises, are they fulfilled? First, because they write...
Your Vada, your whole...
Vada, they write very carefully and whole time. In fact, very famous, it's not me, it's the former finance minister of Atal Bihari Sarkar, Yashwant Sinha ji, when he gone to seek the vote in 2004 in Hazaribagh constituency, one of the lady he met, he mentioned in his book and continuously is mentioning, and she only said one thing, Sinha Babu, aapne kerosene ka bhav badha diya, or he lost the election and whole BJP lost the election.
So, you think the cylinder issue that the Congress had raised, that the price of gas cylinders had gone to 1,200 from 600 was a big issue in this election?
Is one of the issue. Is one of the, I'll tell you, when we ask people, we also ask any particular reason why you are voting for this party. Now, what is the responses of people? I'll try and tell you. The BJP voters, 41% said they are voting for this party for the development. Second best, this 19%. People said we are voting because of Narendra Modi. Third is 13% because of MLA candidate.
Right.
And the fourth is Pasand ki party, meaning we vote this party only always.
Irrespective.
This is for the BJP
Right.
voter. Now coming to the Congress voter, which is very important and significant. Here 34% said we are voting to Congress because of development. See, 41% for the BJP, 34% here, but the story lies in the following. The next best is परिवर्तन होना चाहिए 10%.
Parivartan meaning?
Change.
Change, okay.
There
That
should
was
be,
a big
there
thing.
should
So
be the
anti-incumbency is being reflected in that one.
Yes, very much. And inflation, महंगाई, what you were referring is the cylinder कीमत, महंगाई is 9%, is the second. And the third is promises made by Congress 9%.
So the guarantees that they give.
Guarantees there. So this is
So
what
you had
the
a combination of 4 factors.
Yeah.
Development was one of them, but most importantly, change was a very big thing that was there. Including that was inflation
and promises.
Okay, so that was the winning
development is a common factor.
Right.
In any state, every time they will say, boy, development dekhe. So just leave that development part aside,
Right.
which is always going to be there.
Right.
No matter whoever is there.
Now you had mentioned the Modi factor, and
Yeah.
we saw that there was 19% you said, out of that 41% said development, 19% said Modi factor, and then the MLAs.
Yeah.
How important, see, Mr. Modi campaigned there, the Prime Minister Modi campaigned there, almost 20 big rallies apart from road shows and everything else. What was the Modi factor and how much did it impact the percentage of votes, and why didn't it, as in Gujarat and other places, turn the vote around?
Yes. So overall percentage, now we turn this into overall percentage, it is 7% which factored here because of
The difference.
Modi.
7%.
7%. But actually the voter turnout, the total vote share across the party and everything, it made at least 3% difference for sure. At least 3%.
But you're also saying that when you look at the final tally, we are close to 44% for the Congress?
43% for the Congress and 35.7%
So
for the BJP.
whatever, so you must have moved it from 32 to 35.
35 to 32. Had there been no Modi campaign.
It would have dropped to 32 if there was no Modi
32%.
campaign.
And you see with this number, with this 35%, what is the scene? Then they would have, Congress would have reached to 2/3 and 3/4 kind of a majority.
Okay, so he actually stopped them from getting
Yes.
a landslide majority
Landslide
in some
majority,
senses. So
yes.
that helped. But if you take a look at Bangalore,
Yeah.
Bengaluru as
That
we
is
call
where
it.
it made the difference.
Now, how much of that, because see, the Congress did win substantial number of seats before, there 28 seats in
Yes,
Bangalore.
yeah.
What is the difference now you're seeing in terms of the campaign
Which
in
is
this one?
quite evident because last time Congress has been Bangalore particularly, last time Congress has won 15 seats and BJP 11.
And this time?
This time, last I have seen is 14 each.
So he pushed those three
He pushed
seats,
the seats,
on this one. But let us take the 6 regions of Karnataka.
Yeah.
And what is it? There was a caste factor that was there.
Yeah.
There was a communal factor. But let's deal with the caste factor. The BJP was known to be strong with the Lingayats, the JDS with the Vokligas, the Congress, they had a combination, what they called a Hinda, which was a combination of the OBCs, Muslims, and the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. I mean, generally, broadly, that abbreviation in Kannada encompasses that.
Yeah.
Let us look at each of the caste groups that voted. What would be the, where did they go and did that make a big difference?
Yes, that is where the big difference lies, and that is where the campaign matters, how you project yourself in the eyes of the people. See, in Karnataka, let me tell you, the Dalit, SC, ST, Muslim, Christians, Kurbas, these 5 major groups contribute 50% of total, 50%, 50.
And this is the so-called Ahinda combination.
So-called Ahinda. In this, OBC is not there.
Okay.
Okay. The other side is 15% roughly Lingayat and about 10% OBCs, which contributes about 35%, and the general also. So, general, OBCs and Lingayat all put together 35%.
And Vokligas.
And Vokaliga is the third constituent, which 15%,
Right.
which belongs mostly to the JDS.
Right.
So, 50, 35, 50. Now, what had happened in this election in compared to last election? In last election, the last section of the society, the community of Dalit and particularly Adivasis has voted more in favor of BJP than in favor of Congress, and their vote were splitted between JDS and Congress.
Right.
This is where the difference, all the difference made. Last time JDS with alliance in Basapa, BSP, Mayawati, they could win 38 seats combined, 38 seats combined. This time they are reduced to 19 to 20 seats.
Right.
And bulk of their seats last time also came to 26 seats from old Mysuru region, where BJP was the distance third.
Right.
Distance third. So, large section of these society got consolidated this Ahinda, what you are referring to, in favor of Congress, and what you see is the result.
Now, when I spoke to Mr. Bommai and other BJP leaders, they said they had given greater reservation for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. They increased the percentage of it. One got 5%, the other got 3% more. And Mr. Bommai was confident that this social engineering would get him the votes. Why didn't the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes vote in large numbers for the BJP?
Very, very good and pertinent question you asked, because we are discussing the caste equation in the Karnataka. What had happened after that? This was done and announced by state government on October last year. And this 1 month before the election, they came out with that they removed the reservation for the Muslim community.
Correct.
And distributed among Lingayat and Voka-Ligar,
Right.
and that is where all the difference made. See, reservations such a sensitive subject in Indian politics, even likes of VP Singh, when he has touched it, he was out of the power and never returned. The Janata Dal I am referring to.
You are talking of 1989.
1989.
Yeah.
That you must
Mandal
have seen.
Commission
Mandal
came.
Commission,
Yes.
and you have printed cover that boy burned himself.
That's right.
We have run that cover. I was working that time for India Today. So this is the very sensitive thing. The moment you give reservation to somebody, it means at the cost of the others.
Right.
And that is where the other community always feels ignored, and in this case the OBCs were the case.
Okay, so the OBCs turned against the BJP in
Yes.
this thing because the scheduled castes and tribes got the percentages, and the forward community got some percentage,
Yes.
but the OBC didn't.
This is the reason why you see the biggest debacle in Bombay, Karnataka region.
Right.
Here
Which is your Kittur, Karnataka, as we call it.
Kittur, Karnataka, you see last time BJP won 30 seats out of 50.
Right.
This time Congress seems to be winning 35 seats, 35 seats. And that is where though they say Lingayat is dominant is
Right.
fine, okay. But without OBC, how can you win with Lingayats of 15%?
So
You
it is
can't.
so it is the OBC that turned strongly
Yes,
to the Congress,
to the Congress.
upset because of what had happened.
Yes,
on this.
yes.
But let us also take, why didn't in so-called Hyderabad, Karnataka, or Kalyan, Karnataka, you have a large number of SCs and STs over there. Why didn't they go to the BJP? Because BJP had given them an additional percentage. What was the...
So that's what I am trying to tell you. They have not additional, very little percentage they have increased, and that too in Dalits also. There are 4 different community,
Right.
2 different community they have added and given those 2-3%.
The left and the right,
left
this
and
thing.
right combination. So
Right.
it's not that they have given full. Even in our poll, 60% is going to Congress, the Dalit votes I am talking about, and 20 odds to the BJP. So that time also, see, Congress will always get lion's share of the Dalit vote, but last time BSP was also there. The vote was splitted between, though Congress got in 40s,
Right.
44, 45, still lion's share. But 40 to 60 is too much. That the winning margin is always hold on to that.
Now, how much did a person, after all, the Congress has Mallikarjun Kharge, who is
also Dalit leader,
Dalit leader,
right, Dalit
how much
leader.
did that begin to turn in the Congress favor? Was that a factor in some
That is
sense?
one of the factors which consolidate the community. See, in India, who is leader? Leader representing people, right? And the moment when we say representing, meaning what? It's not just a word. You should understand the expectation, aspiration, and most importantly the culture of the society.
Right.
And in India, all community have different types of culture, different types of dialect, different types of language, and so as different types of expectation and aspirations. So you resonate with them. So that's why the cost work play the major role in India, any part of the country.
So you are saying Kharge's, being one of the Congress leaders, actually
Yes.
pushed, despite there was the BJP trying to social engineer, they were not successful in this particular case over there.
And particularly Hyderabad, Karnataka region, is that 50% Ahinda goes to 60%.
Right. Right, and
Because
they won
there is hardly
substantial
any-
number of seats this time also.
Of course, this time also.
That is what has propelled them to this 130 beyond.
Except Bangalore, where 14-14 last we have seen, and Karavali, of course, always you know Karavali.
That is
In
coastal.
Karavali, coastal region, there is no Lingayat, Vokaliga or Kurba,
Right.
less than 5%, insignificant. It is like any other North Indian state, that particular, so BJP is winning big time there.
There also, that's what I wanted to come to, which is the communal issue or the polarization thing that was talked about. We saw what happened when the Muslims were denied the 4% reservations. The BJP distributed among the Vokaligas and Lingayats. They had made a big issue of it. Then we saw in mid-campaign the whole issue of the Bajrang Bali and Bajrang Dal, and with the BJP coming out strongly saying that they're going to ban the Bajrang Dal. And now, how much of that had an impact, one in some region and other across the state?
Across the state, what had happened, as I told you, that 35% which belongs to or which aligned to the BJP has been aligned and further consolidated. That is the reason why you see the BJP percentage. Last time it was 36%, this time it is 35.7%.
Right.
Hardly any reduction.
That's
in
right.
fact, increase in some other part, which is old Mysuru. So that is where the consolidation happened. But the counter consolidation always happen in this Ahinda. These caste, Dalit, Adivasi, Christian, Kurba, they have nothing to do with any kind of religious matter whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen any Dalit or Adivasi going to the mandir or the temples?
Right.
It doesn't matter to them.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So it's not the
So you are saying the
Hindu-Muslim,
consolidation, the Muslim vote consolidated solidly behind the Congress because of this.
last time JDS took some Muslim
Right.
vote, this time full consolidation, and Dalit and large number of Adivasi shifted to Congress.
Right. And now, if you take Old Mysore region, which actually has, depending on how you count, 62 to 68 seats, right? If you include a part of rural Bangalore, it then becomes there. That was critical to any party winning Karnataka. The number of seats that is there, apart from Hyderabad, Karnataka.
Yeah.
Now, if you take a look at what happened over there, JDS was a strong force.
Yeah.
What happened in this? Did JDS votes go to Congress or did it go to BJP and the Congress benefit?
So we have done that study. So among Dalit, among tribals and among Muslim, the large, when I say large, 2/3 of vote, whatever JDS received last time of this community, 2/3 vote shifted in favor of Congress in this region, and that is where all the matter, even among the Vokaligas. Last time
So,
they secured
who's actually got the vote? The JDS vote fragmented towards BJP or to the Congress?
towards Congress 2/3, towards BJP 1/3 minus Muslim.
Ah, okay. Wow.
So this is the scenario, and this is the reason why last time JDS with 26 seats was #1 party, and 16 seats secured by BJP. I was telling you 1% down, 10 seats added to Congress tally. You can see this.
And the moment JDS percentage of votes dropped, Congress benefited
Congress
on this.
benefit like anything from 80 to 135 plus we are seeing here, 80 to 135, and JDS vote reduced from 18 to this time around 14. So 4%, and see the more than 40 seats increase
in that one. Now, I wanted to talk to you about female voters.
Yeah.
Now, all the while the BJP had wooed them in great numbers, all the schemes for the BJP, whether Jal Jeevan scheme or your toilets, Swachh Bharat, everything was directed in some senses. They thought they had the female vote with them. But what is the, your reading of what happened in this particular polls?
So when we say the common men issue, it is common woman issue.
Right.
Always, because they are the one at the stake.
Right.
They are the one who is the real and direct beneficiaries of all these government social welfare schemes, whether it is gas cylinder or whether it is food grains, free food grains, or direct money transfer. In earlier days, money used to get in the hands of male and they were neglected. Now this is not the matter, or whether it is the toilets or whether it is the Jan Dhan account, and that is why this DBT is direct money transfer. So the core beneficiary is going to be women always, because they have to run the house.
So what happened in this case?
In this case, among the female, Congress got 44%. among the male, Congress got 40%. So, 4% more female voted, but if you compare with BJP,
What is the BJP's vote?
the difference among the female between Congress and BJP is 11%.
So Congress got 44% and BJP got only 33%.
Yes, you are right, 33% secured by BJP among female as against 44% by Congress, and among male 35 to BJP and 40, only 5% difference, meaning additional 6% vote share in favor of Congress in comparison to BJP and Congress.
And why did that happen? Why did the female vote move strongly towards the Congress?
Same as I mentioned you, female is the one who actually evaluate the performance of a state government and what you have promised and what you have delivered, and the challenger what they have promising again. So, they shifted in a bulk, and whatever 5 guarantee you are talking about, 4 belongs to female.
And now coming almost to the final questions on this, the income strata. You talked earlier that the poor had voted strongly for the Congress and
Yes.
this thing. The upper class and rich seem to have voted for the BJP. Is that correct? That largely the Congress consolidated around the poor?
Of course,
and
yes.
upper rich, middle class went towards the BJP.
I will show you very interesting data and most important point you ask. So, there are 4 groups we generally divide for the election. Right. One is the less than 10,000 monthly income. Second is between 10 to 20,000. Third is 20 to 30,000. We call it middle class kind of a thing. And 30,000 and above is the last category. Yeah. Okay. So, in 2 category, BJP is leading. Which are those 2 category? 20 to 30 and 30 and above. BJP vote share 40% and 38% Congress. Right. In elite, which is 30 plus, 30,000 plus monthly, 41 to BJP and 33 only to Congress, 33. Wow. But the real story, because this section of society belong not more than 20%, I kept on saying.
And so 80%.
80%, what is the difference? Among the lowest strata, it is other way round, 33 to BJP and 44 to Congress.
Wow.
11% has difference, 11%, and in 10 to 20,000, 34 to 41, 6% difference. This is where the all difference is, and the story is done. In fact, one of the very tall leader of BJP has tweeted yesterday, the channel or the pollster giving the least seat to BJP, they seems to have sampled wrongly, because about 80% plus is they have sampled less than 20%, which should not be the case. In fact, that is the reason why I always say the vote cast. Those who didn't turn up, the 2/3 belongs to the elite and upper class.
And that happened in Bangalore also.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Now, final 2 points that is there. One is that you had mentioned earlier when we were discussing that Karnataka is a prosperous state. So, people are looking for a vision, and therefore, these welfare things need not, because they've already got much of this. Where does that argument lie when you see post the results? Is that a fact, or you find that delivery is the shortage and people are not happy with what is happening?
See, though Karnataka is a prosperous state, meaning people have little less dependency on the government, little less. It doesn't mean that it's not dependent. So, the moment you remove Bangalore out of Karnataka, the moment you remove Bangalore out of Karnataka, it's like any other state, any other normal state.
And there you have to give welfare schemes.
And there you see in Bangalore, Bangalore 28 seat, BJP is winning more, Congress is less. This is where your answer is.
This is the income issue that is happening. Now, when you look at the BJP, they had decided that they would bring absolute new faces in something like 80 constituencies, apart from rejecting sitting MLAs. How much did that, when you look at the number of new faces that have won, has that experiment worked or not?
See, this experiment works when your performance is good. Then everything, whatever you do, you get in your favor. But the moment people have decided that we want to change, now I will give you the classic example of this case, which is the Punjab 22 election of Punjab Assembly election. The moment people decided we want to change it, can you believe likes of late Badal Saab, senior Badal Saab, Sukhbir Singh, Navjot Singh Sidhu, Charanjit Channi, the sitting chief minister, being Dalit.
So, change what you said parivartan.
So change
That
is like change फिर सारे घर के बदल डालो.
it just blows everybody down.
Everybody, whoever comes in the way.
Now let us look at just the final points.
Yeah.
What is the big takeaway for the Congress? What is the impact of this win for the Congress nationally? What does it give them?
Nationally, see, it is a state election.
Correct.
First of
but
all,
we have now four big states coming, three which the Congress had earlier, which they have two, they've kept one, they've lost two.
So,
the thing.
so in two states, Congress government is playing the incumbent role.
Rajasthan and
Chhattisgarh.
Chhattisgarh.
And Telangana, non-BJP,
So let us, what is the lesson for the Congress from this? What do they have to do in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh as well as Madhya Pradesh?
So in all these states, they have to make sure, particularly when they are in government, to how to play. They have to play differently, and because they are incumbent, they have to see to it the delivery happen. People satisfaction is level is there, so that they don't face the anti-incumbency. First is this. Second is that you have to talk, you have to work all the time for the people's development.
Okay.
Then only you can see some hope, and same goes with Congress, BJP.
Now BJP, let's look at it. Do they, because of this loss, have they lost some momentum in the coming elections? They wanting to win Telangana, Madhya Pradesh. How do you see that playing out?
As far as BJP goes, I don't think, because in 4 states which we are talking, even Mizoram for that matter, in 5 states, at only one place BJP government is there. So anti-incumbency will be playing on the other 4 side, and in Madhya Pradesh onto their side.
Right.
So they have to make sure that this performance matters here, and in other 4 states they have to talk, and they have to bring kind of schemes, a kind of social welfareism or whatever promises you call it, so that they challenge the anti-incumbency in other 4 states.
Now, if you just quickly go into the key takeaways that are there. If you take takeaway 1 is the fact that anti-incumbency plays a major role, continues to play, you have to deliver.
Yeah.
Am I right? Takeaway
Yes.
2, leadership, local leadership.
Local
strength of
leadership is very important. You have to have a credible face
Right.
who resonate with the people. Resonate with the people is very important.
Right.
Until unless you seen like one among them, the representative, who as a leader, who are you?
Right.
You are a public representative.
So you need locally, Mr. Modi cannot do wonders in places where there's no great local leadership.
Local
in that
leadership
setup.
has to be there.
As well as the Congress. Both have, that's a message.
And you have to see the cost equation very carefully.
That's the third big
You cannot
takeaway.
rest assured on 1 or 2 communities.
Right. You need a
coalition of all, umbrella of all the major
and take a look, communal politics and polarization has its limits, as Karnataka
it has
showed.
never worked. Even in Uttar Pradesh, I say it has never worked. It is always the performance and delivery. What we see in the media, which we have seen here also. Somewhere people win, so they think because of this it is win, because this is seen.
Right.
Whatever seen is outside what is seeing, but the voter actually see whatever he has received as a delivery.
And finally, 2024, how does this have an impact? Is
See,
there a momentum for the Congress? Is there a BJP has to recover? What would you say?
As I told you, it is the incumbent and the challenger. So at this point of time, like any sports or any contest for that matter, as long as you see one person, the credible face, you will, and even I will see that as a face and looks like he is coming as a victory, unless you have a challenger which is equally credible.
That's a big message for the Congress.
Yeah.
We have a face for the BJP, but
then only you have to match the contest.
But it's still early days.
Yes.
There's many months to go. Pradeep,
Yes. Thank
Gupta,
you.
congratulations. Thank you very much for this. Thank you for listening to this episode of Nothing But the Truth. Nothing But the Truth.